Here are some tips that may save your life, so this might be the most important video you ever watch. So if your car is ever stuck accelerating, quickly shift your car into neutral to slow down. And if you're ever stuck in the car and you need to escape, remove the headrest and use that metal part to hit on the window in the corner where it's least resistant. If you're ever being attacked, make sure to scratch the person attacking you to get their DNA under your fingernails. And if you ever get stabbed, don't remove the object unless it's obstructing an airway. The impaled object is actually going to help you from losing blood, otherwise put a lot of pressure on it. Always let at least one person know where you're going every time you leave the house, and make sure to share your phone's location with a loved one in case of a kidnapping. If you're ever stuck underwater and don't know which way is up, just breathe and then follow the air bubbles. Similarly, if you're ever buried in like an avalanche or dirt and you don't know which way is up, spit and see where the gravity takes it. You're going to want to go in the other direction. So stay safe. This is how to survive a sinking car. So let's say you just drove off a cliff, right? Splash. Alright, so now don't panic, everything's going to be fine. So don't waste time trying to open the door, the force of the water won't allow even the strongest person to do so. So you're going to unfasten your seatbelt and send a dial tone to 911 so they can locate your car before your phone loses service. Obviously try to lower the window, but this won't work. So now it's time to break the glass. So find a sharp object, ideally a hammer that can do it. If you don't have a hammer, your best bet is going to be to remove the headrest and then hit the glass to break it using that metal side. If it breaks, then obviously escape through the window, but if all else fails, just wait until the car is filled with water to equalize the pressure, and the door should hopefully then open. So take one final breath before you exit, and then you should be good. Pretty cool, right? This is what would happen if every human disappeared. So after just a few hours, lights around the world would turn off since most power stations work on fossil fuels. 3 days later, most metros would flood due to a lack of daily pipe maintenance. Just 4 days after, every pet at home would die, and billions of chickens, cows, and farm animals would perish. Remaining animals would re-enter the wild, and survival of the fittest would emerge. About a month later, all cooling water at nuclear power stations would evaporate and cause Chernobyl-level disasters, eradicating surrounding wildlife. Fast forward 5 years, and satellites would begin falling from the sky, and 25 years later, and our streets would be entirely covered with vegetation. Without us, the air will become much cleaner and visibility would increase. 200 years later, and most of our infrastructure would crumble. A few million years later, and even the pyramids and the Great Wall of China will erode. And so, after about 50 million years, the Earth will be completely robbed of any evidence that we ever walked this planet. Pretty cool, right? This is why your body is amazing. So the tissue found inside of your cheeks is composed of the same cells as those found in a woman's vagina and your butthole. I'm sure you're all feeling it right now. Kinda sad, little bit weird. Speaking of buttholes though, every human first started as a blastospore, which is an anus. Sea urchins do this as well. Your brain is really good at censoring, and if you don't believe me, just realize you can always see your nose. Your brain just creates a blind spot so you're not constantly looking at it. Obviously don't test this, but your femur, which is the strongest bone in your body, is 4 times stronger than concrete and even stronger than steel. That means it can support a few tons of weight. The nails on your dominant hand grow slightly faster than the nails on your recessive hand, and speaking of growth, every morning you're about 2 centimeters taller than at night because walking and general living compresses the cartilage in your spine and your joints. So do with that information what you'd like. These are some body parts that will disappear one day, so enjoy them now. So body hair used to protect humans from severe weather conditions, but with modern clothing and technology will likely evolve past it. This doesn't include eyebrows, which keep sweat from our eyes, and beards, which help attract mates, apparently. Wisdom teeth, which were historically important for chewing plants, have become burdensome and obsolete as our mouths have gotten smaller to adjust for our new diet. Similarly, your appendix used to be necessary to digest cellulose from plants, but now it's unnecessary and is often painfully removed in emergency surgeries. Men have nipples because when a fetus first evolved, it's not clear what the sex is, but once it's determined that prolactin levels to produce milk are too low, nipples become completely useless for men, unless you're using them for other things. And lastly, toes. So we used to walk using our toes to balance, but we've since shifted the weight toward the center of the foot, so now the only purpose of toes would be to fulfill certain fetishes. Pretty cool, right? Here are some fun ways to burn 100 calories. So do any of these things 35 times and you should lose a pound of body fat. So you can, of course, run for 10 minutes or just walk for 20. If you're feeling productive, go clean something for 30 minutes. If you have a significant other, you can spend 1 hour kissing or just 30 minutes engaging in intercourse. While you're getting ready for your partner, applying chapstick 500 times and chewing gum for 9 hours will deliver the same result. If you're single or just lazy, you only have to watch 2 episodes of a funny show to burn 100 calories. And if you can't find anything to watch, try changing the channel for about an hour and it should have the same effect. And don't worry about dozing off because 75 minutes of sleep will get you to 100 as well. If you're into music, singing 10 songs or playing an instrument for 45 minutes will do it. Drinking 10 glasses of water will do it, as well as actually eating for an hour. Counterintuitive. And if you're too lazy to do any of this, just do nothing for an hour and a half. So good luck.